I know Modern Warfare isn't everybody's favorite Call of Duty game, but it is apparently very successful financially and in terms of maintaining a player base. Modern Warfare has more players and is making more money than any of the other Call of Duties that have launched on this generation of consoles. So this entire era of Call of Duty doesn't stack up to Modern Warfare's current level of success. And Modern Warfare does have a lot going for it. The two big ones being a free-to-play battle royale and triple platform crossplay. Those two elements really do encourage people to buy the game. PC players actually have a player base that they can play with instead of the game dying in 3 months. And before you say Black Ops 3 is still alive on PC, it still has less players than Xbox and PlayStation. That's just how it is. Call of Duty generally dies on PC, and people that have different consoles than their other school friends or co-workers don't really feel like buying Call of Duty because they don't have anyone to play it with. Their coworkers play on PlayStation, they play on PC, but now that doesn't matter. Everyone can play the same game. So obviously that's going to drive it up in sales, and then also has another factor, which is the fact that it's a modern day photorealistic shooter. It also is touting the name Modern Warfare and delivers that nostalgic freedom of abuse style gameplay from Call of Duty's past and Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare Original, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, games of that sort. And for COD players, it's the first Call of Duty of this type we've gotten since Call of Duty Ghosts. Whether or not you like it or you're good at it or not, it doesn't really matter to me. The fact is, it's popular, and I just so happen to enjoy it as well. And even though I've criticized the hell out of it, in fact people still get mad that all I do is criticize it, but really the game has a lot going for it and I still do enjoy playing it to this day. In fact, I just had a really fun live stream where I just played Spec Ops with my buddies. They recently tweaked Spec Ops apparently. Anyway, it was a lot more fun than it used to be. Modern Warfare has a ton of variety to it, which makes this tweet that Thunder overreacted to that much stranger. So I trust this tweet about as far as I can throw it, and that would even be after I print out a picture of it and tape it to a baseball. So I don't know why Captain Overreact Pants over here is freaking out over it, but whatever. Thunder, like many people replying to his tweet, are upset at the idea that the multiplayer of COD 2020 played the same as Modern Warfare. Whereas I, someone with at least 3 brain cells laying around somewhere, I thought to myself, well, what the hell? What does that even mean? Plays like Modern Warfare. What is Modern Warfare's multiplayer play like? Gunfight? Ground war? Is it hardpoint on Grozny Raid or is it team deathmatch on Grozny Raid? The two things play very, very, very different. When I hear plays like Modern Warfare, I feel like that means there's a lot of variety, which makes me happy. I just hope that they do better at, facilitating many different playstyles. That's why I sort of want 5 simplistic medium-sized maps, something similar to Black Ops 2 style maps, and then I want 5 complicated, messy Call of Duty Ghost style maps. That would be a nice balance. That way you have a 50-50 chance every time a map is loading to either get a big messy map or a more strictly competitive map. And then their DLC release cycle could be one messy map, one simple map, one messy map, one simple map, a camper's paradise, a rusher's paradise, those types of things. So I don't know, when it comes to plays like Modern Warfare, I don't know what that means. Maybe that means there's Gunsmith, which is a net benefit to the game in my opinion. I think Gunsmith is a great concept that can only be improved upon. I mean, I know Thunder is funny, but the idea that Call of Duty is doomed because multiplayer is similar to Modern Warfare, that's just, come on. Come on. Come on. I mean, is it exactly like Modern Warfare, but just with a different theme? But then also different maps, which would probably make it play different, and I imagine there'll be different elements to it. I mean, okay, look, Call of Duty is a lot more nuanced than some people want to give it credit for. For instance, you can change the way an entire map plays just by increasing or decreasing flinch when shot. Seriously, head glitching and lane watching will become very popular if there's flinch, whereas people will be more aggressive and feel like they can win gunfights more often if there's less flinch involved. But what if you increase the flinch but don't have a headshot multiplier, or have a really heavy headshot multiplier and no flinch? Really, those little things will change how maps flow. It's weird to think about, but it's true. If you change idle sway, flinch, movement speed, sprint speed, aim walking movement speed, proning, crouching, if you change those little mechanics, you'll change the way gunfights are preferred. You'll change the way players have to win, and then the maps will play differently accordingly. That's why it's easier for me to blame stuff like the minimap or footstep sounds for any of the camping issues in Modern Warfare and not just simply the maps themselves. Like, Call of Duty World War II was considered to be very campy until it added unlimited sprint. Then people didn't feel punished for moving out into the open, and therefore people moved out into the open more often and pushed enemy spawns and went for flanks. You can put down your textbooks, it's not that complicated. Look, I don't understand really why anyone would think anything of this tweet. Even if this was like a respected leaker, this is so vague. I don't care. In a lot of ways, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 are very similar in a lot of their concepts. Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Ghosts are very similar in their concepts. Call of Duty 4 and the new Modern Warfare are very similar in their concepts. See what I mean? Take away the advanced movement from Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3, they're very similar to Black Ops 2. That doesn't make them identical, and people would still pick one over the other. And there's a lot of nuances that people have to ignore in order to say that they're just the same. So this tweet rings sour for me. It doesn't really seem right. It's vague and unnuanced and simplistic. Not a fan. And regardless of whether or not unnuanced is a word, I have to say, we should expect the next Call of Duty game to be at least somewhat similar to Modern Warfare. Heavily customizable weapons, grittier tone, photorealistic graphics, messier maps. Regardless of your opinion, the game is widely popular, and Modern Warfare cares less about tryhards on Twitter and more about just general player base and sales. So even if you're not a member of that player base and it's still massive, why would they give a shit about your feedback? I'm not saying that's good, I'm saying that's the way it is. I have a lot of feedback I've given on this channel. Anyone that's been subscribed to me for a while knows that I have so many ideas that I think would improve Modern Warfare, or at least change it in a way that's important and impactful and could change the game for people that don't like it as much as I do. I don't mind it being a slower paced Call of Duty game, but I've given so many ideas on how you could promote rushing and aggressive play more while maybe diminishing the amount of campers per game. I've talked about diminishing nade spam, I've talked about the mini-map, I have talked about weapon balance. I'm a critiquer of the game, but I'm also a fan. And so like everything I'm a fan of, I have problems with it. Even though I love it, it doesn't mean I love all of it all the time, no matter what. My love is not unconditional, especially when we're talking about electronic toys. Look, it'd be smart to assume that the next Call of Duty games are going to try to follow in Modern Warfare's footsteps. You're gonna see crossplay, messy maps, photorealistic graphics, just about guarantee it. Also, expect a little bit of nostalgia bait. I imagine that we're going to have a lot of tie-ins to the original Black Ops series, whether it's a reboot or whether it's a continuation or a side story. It's gonna be very, very heavily themed around those original Black Ops games because nostalgia sells. They know that the audience that played Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2 when they were kids are now my age. They're now 20 plus years old and are looking to feel like kids again. I'm not saying they nail it or that I support nostalgia bait, but we should just probably expect it. And I don't take it that seriously. If they do it well, they can do it well. And I think Modern Warfare is a solid shooter. All of the problems I have with it aside, at least for the purposes of this video. But before I end this video, I do want to let you guys know that I do live stream. If you guys like my sense of humor, you like my rantings, you might like them live as well. Some streams are more boring than others, but I always try to shake it up and do something interesting. Like I made this on the last stream that we did. What even is this? We made this in Photoshop on the last stream. It was great. It's my friend's face doing the Pogger face and Anyway, what I'm saying is that I live stream, and if you enjoy content and you want to watch it and enjoy it, then you should come by. You can even buy t-shirts in the description. There's like a new cheap one that says Boomer Gang on it because you guys sort of made me cave, and now I call the members of the stream boomers. Not like baby boomers, but like people that watch the one boom. That's me. This is the worst outro I've done, I think, all month. Oh, yeah, it's the 3rd. Okay, so that's funny. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.
Bro, whose dick do you gotta suck to win a game around here, bro?